Tony D and Little Joan with a screenwriter's rant on the count of three, a movie about two guys who want to commit suicide. So they have this warning ahead of it. This trailer contains subject matter related to mental health and suicide. If you or a loved one in crisis, please reach out to the National Suicide Prevention Hotline. It's a movie. I know. People who are on suicide are looking for any excuse to off themselves, but you really, this is. I get why you're doing it, but in some aspects it's kind of pointless. And by the way, I am not an advocate of suicide, ever. So, anywho, let's get into it. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books. Links in the description. Comedy Horror in South Jersey. It's the Pineys. Books 1 through 8. Check it out. I will be at not Smithville, Medford for the big arts and crafts fair on Saturday the 30th. That's a rain or shine date. Should be shine. Weather's saying shine so far, so come on out. And if you're in the Medford area, it should be a nice day. Now, these two guys want to kill themselves. This guy on the left with the blonde hair, he's been depressed his entire life, but his newfound buddy, he has recently decided to off himself because his life sucks, I guess. He has a terrible job. So it's about these two guys trying to kill themselves, and they're having a time. So, along the journey, say here, I think he breaks up. Is that Tiffany Haddish? Is that her? Can't tell. I think that's her. It sounded like her. It didn't look like her. What? I'm doing a thing. Oh, jeez. Right in the middle, you gotta interrupt me. Anyhow, she breaks up with him, throws him out, calls him a bum or whatever. So he meets up with this dude. I'm not sure where they meet up, maybe in the hospital. And they leave the hospital and decide to kill themselves. So here's a scene where they buy guns and decide to off each other, and it doesn't go off. Needless to say, they're behind a strip club, I assume. And so the blonde guy gets the idea. A true marvel of a pitch black comedy. Yeah, that's the truth. They get the idea. He gets the idea like, first he keeps delaying it, which I guess is, it's something that people who want to kill themselves don't. They actually really don't, but a lot of times. So he gets the idea like, let's go out in a blaze of glory. Let's do something really good before we die. So it doesn't go into what he decides, but Henry Winkler's in it too. And somebody else. Oh, gosh. What the heck else is in it? Directed by Jared Carmichael. Henry Winkler and somebody else, I think, from Arrested... I want to say Arrested Development? No. Or from Barry? Oh, something else that Henry Winkler was in. Another actor. I can't remember. They don't put him in the trailer. They put Henry Winkler in, and that's about it. So, JB Smoove. Yeah, I don't know why I said that. Because I don't think they've been in anything together. Maybe Arrested Development? Am I thinking of the right thing? Anyhow, it is Tiffany Haddish. Okay, with JB Smoove and Henry Winkler, who just sort of appear in. Okay, so, it's a dark comedy about two guys trying to kill themselves, and they keep delaying it for one reason or another. Oh, let's take a look at the credits here. Okay. Directed by Gerard Carmichael. Written by Ari Katcher and Ryan Welch. And the main guys, he's one of the producers. Two of the producers. Ari Katcher, one of the writers. Gerard Carmichael. Where's Ryan? Ryan's not one of the producers. And, so... it looks like a real solid premise, I think. I think it's a very solid premise. Because it's dark. It's a serious topic, but taken lightly. And that usually is a good basis for comedy, even though it's a very dark subject matter. So, first act, I think it mainly focuses on the guy on the right, his life falling apart with Tiffany Haddish, and he decides that's it. I'm done with life. My maybe he loses his job too, but he definitely loses his girl, and his life's falling apart. She kicks him out, I think. He meets up with this blonde guy who's been depressed his whole life, trying to kill himself his whole life, and so that's kind of the first act, them meeting and deciding, we'll kill ourselves together. So then they get the guns, and they try to do it, but things go wrong, and so the blonde guy decides that, well, instead of just killing ourselves, why don't we go out in a blaze of glory and do something, noble for the world before we die? And he kind of talks the other guy into that, and he agrees. So I'm not sure what they decide to do. My suspicion, although they didn't say it, my suspicion is Henry Winkler is a guy they target because he's terrible for some reason. His character is terrible. JB Smoove, I'm not sure if they target him. Maybe they go after some kind of revenge thing on two guys that wrong them, or they're just two terrible people in their town. Maybe they're criminals. Maybe they're the rich guys who ruined the town or something, and they decide to go after them. And then at some point the cops are chasing them, which I assume happens near the end of the second act. And it goes into the second act, and the climax is, will they kill themselves? And by the third act, they realize that they are best friends, and now they both have something to live for. And my guess is it's one of two endings. Either one of them dies, saving the other, or they both die. They finally achieve what they wanted in the beginning of the movie, but don't actually want it anymore. Or they both end up going to jail, but they're okay with that because they're best friends now, and now they have a reason to live, even though they'll be in jail forever now. Which would be probably the most ironic ending. So that's probably, I think, where it's going. They both end up in jail, but now they want to live. So it's called On the Count of Three. I don't know if I mentioned that in the beginning. Obviously, because they were going to shoot each other on the count of three, which is probably the worst way to do this. This is the Red Band trailer, which is a little spicy. And yeah, I like it. And they both get in arguments over things like, what's your last word going to be, and that kind of thing. So Gerard Carmichael, he's the director, and he's the star too. Oh, all right. Gerard, doing all the heavy lifting here. I like. So which one is Gerard? Don't know. Christopher Abbott. So I think this is going to be good. This looks good. And I'm not a big fan of Tiffany Haddish, but she seems to be a minor player in this, more of a supporting actress. But I like the two leads. I like this premise a lot. Henry Winkler, you can't go wrong with him in a comedy these days. Oh my God. Henry Winkler's just been knocking it out of the park between Barry and Arrested Development. I mean, his post-Fonz roles are just fantastic. Post-Fonz. Oh, it's from Orion. They're still around. Still kicking around, making movies. So yeah, I like the looks of this. I like the cut of your jib on the count of three. Let's see, do we have a date on this? May 13th. Movies and on digital, May 13th. Well, I will certainly be looking for this. I'm going to give this an upvote. It looks good. I think this is going to be one to watch. Yeah, on the count of three. And look, if you are suicidal, maybe you shouldn't watch this movie. You should get some help. But I think this is going to be fun. All right, that's it for me, Tony D. and Little Joan. Check us out on Odysee, Bitchute, and Rumble for our more based takes. Joan gets very based on Odysee, Bitchute, and Rumble. We've got a Hollywoke hot take, right? And a news blast. We'll see you in the next one.